Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. And in our last video we talked about how to update data in the database using Mongoose and MongoDB. So in today's video we'll be learning how to delete data from the database, and without further ado, let's dive in. First, according to the methods, if we want to delete data from the database, we have to use the app.delete. So we are going to be sending a delete request, and so let me set the route and / that is delete user. I'll be using delete user as the route, and as you know, check in the request and the response. And that's it. So right here we have many methods to delete a user from the database, and I'll be showing you two methods today. And for that, let me just use await, and first let me type in is found. So is found, and that will be I forgot, and this should be an async request because we'll be using the await. So await user dot find. So find by ID and delete. So that is what we'll be using, find by ID and delete. And we take the ID. So to take in the ID right here, we are going to pass in the parameters of ID, and up here let's get the const. So the ID, we destructure the ID from the request parameters, and that is request.params. So instead of using request.id like this and setting the ID like this, this is a long way, and I think the this method is a better method to get the ID. So request getting the ID from the parameters, and this one though, okay, so you just need to send in res.json. So let's put in a message of user deleted, and taking in the user data so taking the data as the is found. And I think that's all for now. I think that is what we need to do, and let's start up the server, and that will be npm run dev. Okay, so let's start the server, and let me check before sending any other request. So it's found. I wait the user to find by ID and delete. So let's wait for the server, and we'll be using Postman as our client. So we are making use of Postman, and before our server starts running, let me go back, and you can see right up here that so wait, so to get our users, we need to find by user. So make use of the / users route. Okay, and let's go back to our Postman, okay, / users, and wait for the server to start. Okay, it's connected. So let's go back and send the request to get all our users in the database. Alright, so right here, okay, right there we have our users right here. So we have 2 users right there. Okay, and now we have 2 users in our database, so let me grab the ID of the one with the Jane Doe and copy it. So now, since we are having a route of wait, sorry, okay, so since we are having a route of /delete user /id, so let's go back here and set our method as delete. So http ./localhost so 5000 is our port /delete _user and the ID. So let's send and see what we get as our response. Something is not right. Oh, sorry, I didn't put in the ID. I think you saw that, so save again. And okay, so while we wait, okay, connected. So let's send in our request again and send. Okay, we are getting an error down here. Find by ID and delete is not a function. Alright, so right here I forgot is capital letter, so I have to make sure that our syntax is correct. Okay, I think we don't have any error again. Okay, connected. So let's send our request again. So send. Okay, so message user deleted, and this is the data of the user that was deleted, and that is Jane Doe. So let's go back right here and see maybe Jane Doe will still exist again. So let's see and send, and you can see now Jane Doe has been deleted from the database, and that is how to delete a user from the database. And the second method I will be showing you is for validation. Maybe you want to delete a user by knowing if the user exists or not. So right here, what we only do is that we only send a request to the to the server to delete a user with the particular ID, but we didn't request maybe the ID is valid or not. So right here we'll be checking if the ID is valid, and so also delete. So let me just put in delete /user and right there, so delete /user and take in the request and response. Okay, so response, and that will be an async request. And right here we need to get the ID first, so sorry, ID is got to request the params. So, and let's put our query inside the try and catch block. So if you're having an error, so right there, so try and catch block, so taking the error, and right here we need to check maybe the user exists or not. So first we need to find, so sorry, so const is found, is found. So is found is auto await. Was wrong. I think I'm getting an error. Await user dot find one. So we need to find one. That means we are getting only one users from the database. No, or we can use find by ID. I think that will be okay. So find by ID. So we pass in the ID right here. So and we need to check if not found, if not is found. So this means if the ID does not exist in the database. So if not found, I want it to return return a res.json and I send in a message. So let's say the message of and use a template literal. So can use and send in user with the ID of, so pass in the ID right there, ID not found, else. So if this if is found, this command will not be executed, but if it's not found, this will be executed. So right here at the bottom, and we are going to pass in our query if is found, and that is we want to delete the user. So await user, sorry, it will be in capital letter, user dot find one. So user dot find one and remove, and we are going to pass in the underscore ID is equal to ID. And after that, so right here, let's just put in so no, alright, so let's just say deleted user right here, and that is right there. So deleted user. So we need to send a response res.json and send a message, maybe message, and again, so let us use the template literal user. So user with the ID of, and so let's pass in the ID deleted. So deleted, so deleted from the database successfully. So successfully. Alright, so I think I make a mistake right there and put it right there. So we'll be getting a message like this, user with the ID of, so passing the ID right there, deleted from the database successfully. And if you have an error, we should be able to catch the error right there. So res.json and sorry, and that should be the so let's put in error. So let's pass in the error right there. So it's also the same thing as passing errors error, but I'm making use of the ESC syntax, so you just need to pass 1, and I think we are getting a problem right here, so let's check. Alright, so right here the error is right here, so put it back. I think our error is cleared right now, so let's save. And right here, before we run our command, so since we are passing the ID right there, so let's pass in the data of the user as deleted user. So deleted user, I think that, oh right here, another mistake right there, so let's cut it out. And so since we are having a message right here, and let's pass in the data of the user right here. And save. I think we are good to go now. And just so we are good to go, and let's check our terminal right here, and our server is starting again. So our server is starting again, so let's input the route. Okay, so right here, let's just grab the local host right here, so and so /user, and let's grab the ID of the user right here, and that is the last user we have in our database. So let me copy and paste right here, and we are sending in a delete request. So let's send and see, maybe you'll be getting a successful response, and that is taking longer. Let's go back again. We have an error right here. RE is not defined, and that means I've made another mistake. RE. Okay, sorry. Request and save. Go back. So let's okay, so the server is restarting. And right here, so let's send in the command and check right here, message user with the ID of so deleted from the database successfully, and this is the data of the user that was deleted. So let's check in our database, maybe there is a user that exists, and you can see now right here now that our database is empty, and that is it. And let's go back. So the reason why I'm showing you this is that imagine a user is wanted to delete a user from the database, and there was a network glitch, and the request has already been sent to the server, but the client was unable to get the response. And when trying to click maybe the delete button again, the user will be able to get a message that the user with the ID is not found. So that is the reason I'm showing you this, because the user might be wondering what happens. So that is it. And if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos.